Hello, science fiction fans, and welcome to my channel. I'm Peg, and today I'm going to be doing my first Friday reads. I just started my booktube channel this week and have been trying to make a video every day so I can kind of get used to it, and I've really been enjoying it. I appreciate those of you that have given me some kind feedback, and I really enjoy doing it, mainly because it makes me think more about the books I'm reading, and that's a good thing. First of all, I'll just tell you a little bit about my reading habits. Because I'm retired, I can read as much as I want to, except for sleeping and eating, and it's certainly one of the good things about being older. I usually read around 500 pages a day, and instead of reading one book, I like to read 4 or 5 books and read 100 pages out of each of those. So in order to keep from being confused when I go from one book to the other, I'll show you my pile. I make bookmarks out of paper, and on this I write what has happened during that portion of my reading and what just happened, so that when I come back to that book the next day, I can quickly get into speed with what's going on and won't confuse the characters from the other book that I was reading. And that seems to work pretty good for me. Most of these books I have gotten from my library. I have a great library, and it has a huge shelf called New Science Fiction, which I haunt all the time. And I find some ones that have really just been published and are brand new. And there don't seem to be a lot of people checking them out, which is good from my viewpoint. Okay, so I'm going to go through these 5 that I'll be reading and hopefully reviewing on here this week. And I'll start with the ones that I have read the least of. I'm at different points in all of them, of course. I'll start with the ones that I have read the least of, finishing with the one that I'm just about ready to review. Okay, the first one is called Void Star by Zachary Mason. This is his second book. It takes place in San Francisco. I don't know a lot about it since I'm just barely starting it, but the seas have risen there, as in many of the books I've been reading lately, and it has like 3 main characters that are involved with artificial intelligence and work in programs thereof, and there seems to be some problem and corporations getting into it. It looks like it's going to be really, really good. It's kind of long and has small writing, which is okay. Okay, next I will be reading one that I found that I believe it was just published in the last month. It's called The Punch Escrow by Tal M. Klein, and this is actually his first book, but has already been selected to make a movie out of. This takes place in 2147, and it deals with advances in nanotechnology. And I'll say also that just from the small bit I've read, it deals with the teleportation, moving from one place to the other of humans. They finally found a way to do that, and some of the trouble that causes. Again, it has big corporations getting involved. It seems like when there's big corporations, they're always bad news. So I'm anxious to read that. Okay, next I'm in the process of reading Change Agent by Daniel Suarez. It takes place in 2045, and it deals with genetic crime. They've learned to change genes in adults to make them look like other people while keeping the same DNA, and it causes much confusion. And I've read quite a bit of this. There are some wonderful action scenes, which, when they're well written, I really enjoy. They take place in some different cities in Asia, Thailand for one, Bangkok, and during some of these action chase scenes, you almost feel like you're there. They're so well written. It's the kind of thing that you can imagine seeing a movie out of, but I would rather read it in a book. And so this one has a lot of Oriental atmosphere that I'm really enjoying. And next, I'm also reading, almost done with, The Collapsing Empire by John Scalzi, who's written many, many books and has won quite a few awards. He writes so many books. I think he writes several a year. I'm not sure how he does it. This is not part of a series, but I have a feeling it might be the start of a series because it deals with a multi-planeted world where they get back and forth. They're all one country or so forth of the different planets, but they get back and forth with something called the flow, which is a way to eradicate space-time relationship, and they can easily get from one planet to the other. But then things go wrong with the flow. The flow is also something I've heard termed wormholes or space elevators in other sci-fi books. So this proves to be good. It has several different families involved, fighting each other, and I can see that this is probably going to be a series. And last, this favorite one that I'm reading right now and almost finished is called The Berlin Project by Gregory Benford, who is also, he's written many books. And you can see in the subtitle up here, it explains what it's about. American Bomb Annihilates Nazis. It's an alternate history in that we supposedly the Americans get their bomb in time to bomb Hitler in Germany. And it's really very detailed. He is a physicist and he knows a lot about how to make bombs. And the first half, I think, is pretty much how things actually happened with Manhattan Project and how they had to search for the best way to lighten up uranium to separate the different isotopes out. And that part was really very interesting. And then about halfway through, it sort of segues starting into an alternate history, and you can't quite tell what's true and what's not. But it's really interesting. I'm almost finished with this, and I have a feeling it's going to be a very suspenseful, interesting ending. I can't wait to finish this. I'll probably be reviewing this in the next day or so, so stay tuned. Okay, that's it for me. Everybody have a nice reading weekend, and talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.